Right now we're having El Capitito que nunca falte. Later on we're going to a nice restaurant. And yesterday I made what I used to make in a whole month in a day. Now I'm not saying this to flex. The reason I'm saying this is because I look back. Someone who grew in South London, who lived underneath his dad's Chinese takeaway, who worked retail and Uber Eats delivery driver at the same time. And everything that I'm living now has never been normal to me. And that's why I've been documenting everything, to sort of take it and appreciate everything, because there's going to be a point where all of this is going to be normal to me. Now I'm sharing this with you guys because I want to show you exactly how I managed to do this. Now this isn't for everyone, but this is for the person whose biggest fear is being average, who's scared of never reaching their full potential. That's who I was. And the reason you are so scared of never reaching full potential is because you are governed by fear. For my whole life, I was governed by fear. Where fear lives, life doesn't exist. They can't coexist. Now, fear has been stopping you from doing everything that you want to achieve in this life. Everything's on the other side of fear. Things you're so scared of making mistakes. You're so scared of what other people think. You're scared of taking the risk. You just want to play it safe. Ships are safest at bay, but they were not made for that. And this took me a long time to realize. And I go back to everything that I'm living now and how it started off. Is when I realized that fear was the thing that was holding me back. You need to understand what fear comes from. Fear is a preservative of life. Most of the time, we don't want to do something because of a negative consequence that can happen. So what ends up happening, instead of you doing the thing, you go into the future of these possible outcomes that can happen. Then the idea only ever stays an idea and nothing ever happens. Now you live all these negative emotions that could have happened, and you're scared of taking the action because of what can happen. Now, fear and faith both require you to believe in something that you cannot see. The only difference is that fear keeps you stuck and faith makes you move forward. Now, let me tell you one thing. When you overthink things, when you have this fear, you're looking for a guarantee. You want someone to tell you, I guarantee that if you do this, this will happen. I guarantee if you never try, nothing will ever happen. The only guarantee that exists in this life is that one day you will die. So what are you so afraid of? Let me tell you what you're afraid of. Every time you have this feeling of fear, you go into the future. Then you start to overthink everything that could happen. Then you start to blame yourself. You make yourself feel worse. Then you go back into the past. You start to think what you could have done, what you should have done. Now you're in between the future and the past, which is stealing you from the only thing that exists, which is the today. Now listen carefully to this. The future doesn't exist. The future is created by with what you do today. The past, we are not going that way. And that is keeping you in a place that is taking away from the only thing that exists today. No matter how much you regret, the past isn't going to change. No matter how much you worry, the future is going to change. But what you do now is going to affect what can happen in the future. Now I want you to understand one thing. When you get overwhelmed and you think that you're scared of something's going to come, you're not scared about if that thing will come about. What you are scared of is that one day you will stop taking the action that will get you that outcome. Now that took me a long time to realize, because all these desired outcomes that you want, all these results that you want, I wanted to be a content creator. I wanted to be an online coach. I wanted to have thousands of followers. I wanted to improve my financial situation. So all I was ever focused on was on the result. Now understand that that result is created with that result is a byproduct of daily actions. So you don't want the result. You want the hard work that goes with it. You don't want the view. You want the climb. But many people don't want to go. I've got an ant on my hand. Many people don't want to do the work when the very work is the thing that's going to give you the thing that you want. Which is why I tell you, fall in love with the action that gets the result and not the result in itself. That's why I tell you to condition yourself to do hard things every single day, because getting there will be hard. There will be hardships. And guess who will get in your own way? You. Because who told you that you're not good enough? Who told you you're not going to be able to achieve it? You. And then eventually you stop taking action, and that's the way you will never end up getting there. You need to be the best at everything you do. Choose your vehicle and stick to it. Stop having shiny object syndrome, thinking, oh, this guy does this, so let me do that. Guess what? You're gonna have a phase of friction. The middle stage, where you're doing the thing, you're seeing your results, you're having doubts, is it gonna work? Keep pushing through. This is what faith is. That's why I give you the illustration all of the time. This vehicle, this plan that you have, this outcome is your Google Maps. You put it in, now you just drive. There's gonna get to a point where there's gonna be heavy weather conditions. It's gonna be a lot of fog, a lot of hail, a lot of rain. You can't see what's ahead of you. It turns into night thunder. What do? That's the part where many people quit and they go back to what they already know. But what if you just continue? Have faith in the Google Maps. You keep on driving, making sure that you reinforce your vehicle. You make sure that the wheels are on point. You make sure that the windows, if it's got a crack, you repair it. What are those things? When you have those self-sabotaging thoughts, you take action. When you have those doubts, you believe in yourself. The only way you believe in yourself is if you have confidence. Confidence is just evidence of things that you do, which is why I tell you, you have to never break your word. Always believe in everything that you say and start small. I'm not telling you that you need to buy a house every single day. I'm not telling you need to buy a car. No, confidence comes from saying small things and you end up doing it. I'm gonna clean my room today. You clean your room. This is how you end up building confidence. Confidence is just evidence, because when the hard things come and you don't know if you can do it, you already know that you've done everything before, so bring it on. That gets you to the point where you become so delusional, even when things are not working in your favor, you know that it plays part of a bigger picture. This is how I managed to get to where I am now. Me and fear, we don't coexist. Whenever I have fear, my body repels it. Just think about it. You are just existing, you are not living. Think about all the times you've done the things that scare you, things that hold you back, but when you do it, you feel alive. When you wanted to ask that girl out, when you wanted to ask for that pay rise, when you wanted to ask for that job, when you wanted to post your first video. Everything that's stopping you is fear. Everything you want is on the other side of it. Become a person that can take action that will eradicate that fear. This is what you guys need to condition yourself to do every single day. Stop focusing on the shiny object. Stop focusing on the outcome. Focus on you becoming the best person that can take action every single day, which is why I tell you guys, fall in love with the process, fall in love with the action. That took me a long time to realize. Because it will come if you continue taking action. And if you get frustrated with every action that you take, oh, is it going to be after this? Is it going to be after this? Eventually you stop taking action and you are never going to get there. My biggest fear is never reach my full potential. Knowing what I can be, but I let excuses hold me back. I let my self-sabotaging thoughts hold me back. I let the fear of what other people can think hold me back. We are going to die. Just think about it. Imagine someone comes up to you and says, these are all the great things that you have done, this great person, and you look back and you say, wait, that's not me, and they say that's what you could have been if you decided to just take action. That's who you could have been if you decided to trust. If that's who you could have been if you had faith. The Bible says, he who has faith of a mustard seed can move mountains. Fear is a killer of the mind. Action is a killer of fear. Both faith and fear require you to believe in something that you cannot see. Fear freezes you, faith moves you, and fear still requires you to have a degree of faith. Now think about it. Most of the time you suffer so much more in your imagination than you actually do in reality. The removal of fear has allowed me to do certain things like this, speak in front of the camera, to not care about what people think, because I don't care about what people think. I have so much evidence and confidence within self. That's what self-belief is. That's why I managed to do everything that I do. That's why I'm here today. The reason I'm here today is because I took that risk. I was tired of living the same day every single day. I was working in retail, I was working Uber Eats delivery driver. For like 3-4 years, I saved up £10,000. And I realized, wait, for me to get £20,000, another 3-4 years. So how long is it take me to get 100,000? People are buying $100,000 cars every single day. There must be something I'm doing wrong. This is the law of exposure. When you're around people that are doing the things or has the things that you want. Now, I said to myself, wait, this guy that I know from my same area, he's now making $30,000 a month. If he can do it, why can't I? This is where inspiration comes in. The thing is, when it turns into jealousy, is because you don't believe in something and you think you can't do it. And the reason you think you can't do it is because you don't have that evidence, you don't have that confidence. And I've told you, confidence isn't waiting to get this confidence to do the thing. Confidence is doing the thing. That's what gives you confidence. Now I saw him and I said, there must be something I'm doing wrong. And the reason he started to do that is because he had a mentor that was doing the same thing. So I said, wait, the first mentor I ever invested in was £600, 600 euros. I was so scared of spending money, but I said, you know what have I got to lose? 1 month's work. I invested in that first mentor. He showed me how to live. He showed me how to eradicate fear. I got my second mentor. I paid $3,500. I was so scared to do it. I said, wait, what have I got to lose and what have I got to gain? I can gain so much more. After I invested in my mentor 3 years later, I made exactly what I spent in 3 days. This is crazy. This is what fear does to you. It stops you from seeing the other side. it wants you to play it safe. Ships are safest at bay, but they weren't made for that. And the reason I even got to that stage was because the pandemic happened. The pandemic happened in 2020. I had $10,000 saved up. I invested in crypto. I invested 8,000. I made 30,000. And you know why? The only reason I invested in crypto, because at that moment I thought the world was gonna end. So I didn't care. That's the secret. When you don't attach your emotion to the result. I took the risk. I made $30,000 and I said, hold on, wait. I've been doing something wrong my whole life. This is the thing. If you work and do the same thing for the rest of your life, how far is that going to take you? All it takes is one situation to change. I implemented that same mentality which I had in crypto into investing in mentors. Invested it into everything else. When I started creating content, I said to myself, all it needs is one video. All it needs is one take. You have to be educated, know what you're doing. That's exactly what I done. One video alone got me over 98,000 followers. Now I have a personal brand with over 500,000 followers across platforms. I get over 80 million views. I impact millions of people around the world. That's what progress is. Progress isn't trying to impress others. Progress is personal progression, impact. That is what growth is. This is the reason why most of you guys don't grow, because you guys are so scared of what other people will think, because you're trying to impress people that don't even want to see you win. You're thinking small. Think bigger. Think so much bigger. Try to impress the people that you want to be like. Then your action will change. Oh, the people that don't want to see you win, they're impressed with nothing. But you're trying to live for people that don't care about you, that you don't even care about. Stop letting your life become governed by fear. Now I just came out of flow state. I was in absolute flow state just then. Love you guys. If you like this video, make sure you comment down below what was the biggest takeaway. And if you want me to guide you one-on-one to help you remove fear, help you elevate in all areas of life, DM me on Instagram ready. Let's create the person you're proud of. Love you guys.